Spencer, you brought up a good point when you're going into people's houses. So I have a question for you. One of my favorite games to play, and maybe this is a creeper game that, when I go to people's houses, but the first time you go to people's houses for the first time, one of the more fun things to do is, and when people come to my house for the first time, I just straight up ask people to look for this. You always ask, can you find the silverware drawer on the first try? Have you ever tried
Ooh.
that? Ladies and gentlemen, listeners of the podcast world, we are back for another episode of the Nacho Average Daddios podcast. I'm Sam Skibby, along with my co-host Spencer Bogad. Spencer, how we doing today?
I'm
Episode
doing
2.
good. I'm doing good. And, I'm sure a lot of people out there were doubting us that we'd come back for a
Yeah,
second episode. But guess what? You can't get rid of us that
no,
easily. Kind
can't
of
knock us
like
down.
today, I work from home, and today I just kept putting my hand back into that Reese's peanut butter cup, miniature cup bag. And I ate 18 of those suckers today. And they were so good, but
Were they
I
like
am kind of
shareable
pinning.
ones?
They're like the little, like,
So the mini
quarter
ones,
size,
but you ate
the mini ones.
18. Have you done the
Of them.
comparison? How many mini ones does it take to equal a full one? How many Reese's you think you ate here?
I would say two and a half of those mini ones equal a full one. So I'm probably looking at, I don't know, Matt, seven, probably
Wow,
seven.
that's a lot of peanut butter and
Um,
chocolate. You feeling all right?
yeah, I'm feeling okay, but I there we can get into this maybe in the later podcast, but I have a history of eating a lot of one thing at a time, just to kind of challenge myself. Chicken nuggets, for example.
Eat a
I
lot.
have a history of chicken nuggets. So
Yes, you do. I've been in the car where you've eaten quite a few chicken nuggets with you before on a trip. So, yeah,
I just broke that record about a month ago, so we can talk about that.
wow, good for you. I mean, that's impressive considering you're
I
about
did.
years older than you were. So,
That's right. That's
right.
right.
Well, thank you all for joining us for another episode of the Nacho Average Daddios podcast. Obviously, Spencer is full of Reese's and ready to talk about some randomness of our lives. No, we're talking fatherhood, we're talking life, we talk sports and entertainment, really whatever comes to our brain, Spencer. And there's one thing I know in our careers, we travel a lot. We've been traveling quite a bit in different places, and we're going to talk about one of your recent travel things too. But traveling as a dad sometimes can be difficult, especially I was a teacher for 13 years, and then in a recent career switch, I had a lot more travel. I was not only traveling for different things that we love, like going to national wiffle ball tournaments and things, but also now adding in work trips. I'm currently on a work trip now, recording this podcast from a work trip too. And traveling's hard. Is there any, advice that you would give dads or anything you would say to dads that travel and they have kids at home, wife at home that's kind of taking care while you're gone?
Yeah, it's traveling is pretty exciting in general.
Yeah.
Even if it's for work, it is a unique opportunity to get to go see places that maybe you didn't get to go see, even if you're working during those trips. But being a dad, being a husband, there are some downer times. Like I was in Las Vegas for the Super Bowl a couple weeks ago,
Yeah. I want to hear
and
about
I
that.
was I was there for the entire week, and it's like very exciting. You're at the Super Bowl, you're in Las Vegas. There's all these things going on, but like like night three, you're really kind of like, man, like I kind of want to go home.
Yeah.
Like you've been away for too long. My son's 2 years old, so every day he comes home, he's saying something new or doing something new, and a week passes by, and it's like, man, you grew up, and then of course, then you have your wife, your support system, or whoever your partner is, and they're kind of holding down the fort while you're gone and doing these things for work to just better your family. And at the end of the day, I tell my wife travels for work too. I tell her, it's like, you know what, like it does stink, but I am doing this for you, I am doing this for my son, albeit it is fun, which is
Yeah.
a great blessing to have, but it does kind of get crummy sometimes, but at the end of the day, like it's a job, it's how we make money, it's how we provide safety and comfort for our family. So
Yeah.
it's just part of it.
Wyatt right now is in a daddy phase, and I love it,
Yeah.
Spencer. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Like I love being in her world. And so like right now, like I feel like she's daddy's little girl, but FaceTimed with my family a little bit ago. And when I was getting dinner, I brought some dinner back into the hotel and FaceTimed with them. And just her face when she saw me on FaceTime, just
Uh,
the and like I just saw her this morning. You know what I mean? Like I just dropped her
mhm.
off this morning at school. But to have that, and to miss them like that, it just makes coming home so much sweeter too. Sometimes,
Absolutely.
absence makes that heart grow fonder, as they say. So, yeah, we miss our families when we're on these trips, and I'm missing them right now. And I just can't sleep in hotels. The first night that I'm in a hotel, I just can't sleep without my wife next to me. I don't know. I don't know if you're the same way.
I can sleep right now because my son Michael, for the
Oh,
first
yeah,
18
go.
months of his
Okay.
life, he slept about 12 hours a night. And the last 6 weeks, he's been going through what I like to call hell, my own personal hell. He is going through sleep regression where he wakes up around 2 a.m. and listen to this. He just screams bloody murder. Actually, today, when I dropped him off at daycare, his teachers asked, "What is wrong with Michael's voice?" Well, he has lost his voice. He can't scream. He can't
Are
even
you
make any noise.
Are you in a
I'm dead
place
serious.
right now where you could show us, like, let the listeners hear the scream? Like, could you scream right now at your house to imitate it, to tell us what it
All right.
sounds like, or is this too much? You
For those of
don't
you who are playing this at the gym on the loudspeakers for everyone to
turn it down.
hear, for those of you who
Take
are
a
in
pot
your
out.
cars, take a pot out, turn it down a little bit. But yeah, when Michael wakes up in the middle of the night, it's like he may just be sleeping right now. So maybe
That was
that's what it
so
is. But
loud that it didn't even come up. We didn't even hear it, Spencer. It was so loud that your speaker blasted and we didn't hear it. So
so, anyways, I haven't slept in a while. So
I'm sorry to
yes,
hear
I
that.
went to Las Vegas for work, and yes, it's the city that never sleeps. But guess who did sleep? This guy.
All right, good
So
for you. That's
it
awesome.
was uh, it was nice.
We'll talk about the Super Bowl. Did you meet any celebrities? Did you get to talk to any, big football stars, anything like that? Tell the people who you got to meet, what you got to do.
Yeah,
It was a cool experience for you to get to go there.
yeah, for sure. So one of the perks of my job is I work with the NBA and the NFL, and I get to do some pretty cool stuff. And this time around, I got to go to Super Bowl week and hang out in Las Vegas and do a whole lot of different things. I stayed at Caesar's Palace, which is where the NFL was headquartered for the week, and that's where all their staff stayed. And I didn't know this about Super Bowl week, but if you're not playing in the Super Bowl and you're an active player and you're a star player, there's a really good chance you're still going to Super Bowl week because that's where all the advertisers are. That's where all the
Huh,
partners are. And that's where everyone's doing like Super Bowl promotions. And
huh.
they fly in retired players, they fly in active players. So, and they all stay at Caesar's Palace.
Wow. So it's like a who's
So,
who of NFL stars.
yes, if you go down to the Caesar's Palace during Super Bowl week, I swear every 100 feet you see someone
Huh.
famous, like
That's cool.
every 100 feet, every 150
Awesome.
feet. And I saw tons of people not stopping anybody. It's just kind of like you see them and you keep going,
Absolutely.
but you just keep it professional. But me personally, we did some stuff with Joe Montana, which was really cool. He was extremely nice. Could not have been a more normal person.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because the era he played in or what, but he was just like a really cool guy. Saw all sorts of Pro Bowlers. I saw Tyreek Hill. I saw Amon-Ra St. Brown. Um, yeah, retired players like TJ Hushmanzada. I saw him like four
Oh,
times
wow.
getting coffee, kept seeing
Yeah.
him. And then my guy, Bijan Robinson, I was leaving the hotel. And just as a reminder, friends, I'm a massive Texas Longhorns fan. I am now an Atlanta Falcons fan because of Bijan Robinson.
Love
He
it.
is probably my favorite Longhorn player of all time. I am leaving the hotel. I'm dragging boxes with me. I have to go to FedEx and ship stuff back that we didn't use. And around the corner, coming down the hallway, just me and Bijan Robinson walking
John, here
towards
we
each other.
go.
And I go, Bijan, what's up,
My
dude?
buddy.
It was the only person all week that I was like, Bijan. Like I said their name. And he looked at me and I was like, hook him in. And he came over and
You did.
dapped
Oh,
me up. I was
nice.
like, dude, I'm
Oh,
such a big
nice.
fan of yours. And I
That's
was like, I
cool.
cannot wait to support you this year. You're gonna go off. And he was super nice. And
That's awesome.
that's like the only time where I've like been a
Starstruck.
fan in front
Yeah.
of other players. Yeah. Usually I keep it real and
That's
professional,
cool.
but that was pretty cool for me. So overall it was, I'm rambling now, but it was a pretty cool week. Super Bowl week, man. they take over the whole city. The NFL um, is a machine, and they do like they plan those things out years in advance. It's very impressive. So
Did you
was very
were you rooting for anybody in the game? Did it not matter to you really who won? It's I know with the Rams leaving from St. Louis, it was a big topic for me. I loved the St. Louis Rams. I was a diehard
yeah,
fan. I was one of those that went to those games, Upper
yep,
Bowl. Like I was
me
always
too.
trying to be there. I had the Rams gear would come out, had the horns that I would wear too. So when they moved to LA, I kind of went on a boycott of the NFL for a long time.
Yeah,
And I just started recently getting back into it because of the love that my kids have for it. Like my
hmm
4-year-old McGuire loved watching the Chiefs down the stretch. Like he would say the red team, like he would
yeah,
to the red team. He
yeah,
loved watching Patrick Mahomes play. And my 13-year-old Jackson, he obviously plays football for the local high school or the middle school feeder team that will go to the high school. And he even like goes to training on Sunday. So it's fun to watch football with him, and it's kind of gotten me back into football with my sons starting to love the game too. So,
yeah.
you rooting for anybody going you in the game?
I wouldn't say I was rooting for a team. I do. I am a fan of witnessing history.
Sure.
If that sounds weird, but like most people hated Tom Brady. I rooted for Tom Brady because I just like I love cheering for excellence and the best, and like I love witnessing like
Yeah.
things that are just unbelievable. And like what Tom Brady did was just to me was unbelievable. Even though he earlier in his career he like broke the hearts of St. Louis, but after the Rams left, I was able to kind of get past rooting for a team and be able to like root for players and stories. So with that in mind, like I'm not a big Kansas City sports fan. Newsflash, but Patrick Mahomes, I have met Patrick Mahomes. He's an incredible person. Um, he's a extremely nice person, and he's just incredible at what he does. And he's well on his way to challenge Tom Brady as
Oh
one
yeah,
of the
absolutely.
all-time great quarterback. He's probably you could make the argument Joe Montana's still second, but Mahomes is probably second best quarterback of all time, and he's 28.
I know.
But yeah, but kind of circling that back to what you said with your kids, I think sports are a great way for mothers and their daughters, or fathers and their sons, or parents and children, or grandparents, or aunts and uncles to all connect. And sports are one of those few things in life. You have politics and
Yeah.
political beliefs and religion and all these things, and um, that people have their beliefs. But if you live in St. Louis, everyone's a Cardinals fan,
Yeah.
and it's got a great way of just taking us all down to our base layers and like really connecting people in ways that nothing else can. And I think that also translates into the home too, where sports are a great way for me and my dad in particular. Is a great way for us to connect on a way that from a very young age, something easy to understand. I love this thing.
Sure.
I love this team. My dad likes this team. I like that team, and we do it together. And I couldn't tell you how many Cardinals games we've been to. The Winter Classic. My dad is a massive Mizzou fan, and he would drive me to Texas Longhorn games because he knew I loved the Longhorns, and it was a way for us just to connect and talk, like have conversations that communication is so important in families, and like sometimes as you grow older, it's just hard to pull things out of people. But when you talk about sports, it's so easy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, did you see who hit a home run tonight?
Yeah.
Anyways, long story short, it's just a way that brings people together. I love to hear that you and your kids are already having that experience, and whether it's football or baseball or any other sport.
Yeah.
Football does have a unique way of doing it because it is kind of an event every week where it's like on this day we're doing this thing, we have this ritual, and it's 4 hours and then you're done. So, but yeah, I love hearing that you guys are
I'm
doing
gonna
that. What
be
you know, what? Yeah, go ahead.
I'll be the new announcer for Jackson's football team. I'll announce all the home games this coming
Look
season.
at that. Look at
So
you. So there's
I did
another layer.
I
There's another
know.
layer
I
how it's
did the
connected.
last I did the last game of their season, their playoff game, their final game, and I did their very last one, and it was a good experience, and I feel like I got some good feedback. So then I asked the coach, said, "Do you want me to do this full time next season?" He was like, "Yes." So it's gonna be fun
Please.
to connect with Jackson on the field and get to say his name when he makes a big tackle or a sack. So he plays defensive end. So excited to see that next season come. And you're talking about Cardinals baseball. I feel like that's why McGuire was rooting for the Chiefs is because of the red. connection,
Yeah.
right? He
Of
hasn't quite
course.
gotten into
Yeah.
hockey yet. I got to change that up. You know, go to blue, got to be bleed blue in the hockey rink. But you know,
That's
the
right.
we went to Albert Pujols' last game, and that's been his only Cardinal game he's gone to, besides the one where he was in Ann's belly that we
Yeah.
went to.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
we took him to Pujols' last game because I thought it was important for him to see, you know,
Yeah.
this icon in St. Louis. Like, and when he's older, he can say, I saw one of the greatest Cardinals of all time, even if it was just a picture of him holding the bobblehead and the kid's teddy bear he got and all the cotton. He was like, you can have all the snacks you want, buddy. It's like
Yeah.
no nap today because it was right at a 110 game and on a Sunday afternoon, but got to see Albert Pujols. So St. Louis sports is a good way. It's a good town to have your kids grow up in to be connected through sports, like you said.
Absolutely. And speaking of kids,
Yeah.
I know you've had a busy last week or two. What have you been up to with your kids?
Oh my gosh, Spencer, not only have I been traveling, you know, different places, and I got a little, you know, guessing game I want to do with you in a second. It sparked my memory on my way to where I am now today. But I have been recently going to kids' birthday parties. And I don't know if this happens, you know, if you've seen this yet, but at preschool, the kids invite all the kids from their class. It doesn't matter if you like them or not. Doesn't matter. You know, it's, I guess, you know, the equality, got to invite everybody. You know, if you're inviting this person, you got to invite everybody. Now, McGuire is, I feel like he's popular, but he doesn't want to be popular. Like he doesn't care. Like he's like, no, I'll play on my own. I'm good. Like he'll play with the trucks. Like if he wants to play with you, he'll come to you, you know, but
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I feel like everybody just wants him to come. So the other class, one of the kids was having a birthday party and invited two people from the other class, and McGuire was one of them. And I showed up, Spencer, and I was the only dad in attendance. It was all moms and me. So is that a thing? Like, do dads not go to birthday parties? Like, I was, and Ann and I would have gone together, but it was like during nap time, like for Wyatt. So like,
Yeah.
so she stayed, and so I don't
I have
know.
a hot
I was
take.
the only
I
dad there.
how old what
It
year
was
was
a
this person?
4-year-old birthday party for a
Okay.
little boy named, little boy. I won't say his name, but
Yeah, so this might be a hot take. Maybe we should do the hot take button and like,
okay.
sound yeah, hot
Okay.
take. I hate children's birthday parties.
It's
I cannot
okay.
stand
Yeah.
children's
Okay.
birthdays
Yeah.
parties,
Yeah.
especially I feel the same way about my son's birthday party when he turned 1 and when he turned 2. Are they cute? Yes.
Sure.
Do our families love them? Yes. But I ask you this question:
Okay.
who are we having this party for? Are we having it for the kids,
No.
or are we having it for ourselves?
I mean,
And
the
I
kids
think
get
we
presents,
all,
so they like that. But
yes, yes. But we're not having a 1-year-old birthday party where they're cute and like, oh, I got cake on my face. Look
yeah.
at me, I'm 1. I don't know how to use a fork. Oh, hey,
Hot take.
daddy.
Hot
Oh,
take.
can you change my diaper? So if Michael was invited to a friend birthday party and or Courtney and I had to take him, Courtney probably's taking him because
Okay.
I just I don't know. Like we'd either go
Well,
together or she'd be taking him.
yeah.
I think it's great that you went because I do think it's one of those things that dads should do.
Sure.
Um, but I hate children's birthday parties. I've actually talked to your younger brother Gus about this, and he hates them as well. He
Well,
hates them, I think, as much as I do.
that day,
Um,
Spencer,
I
I was a Nacho average daddy-o showing up to that.
Yeah, you were an above average
I
daddy-o.
was. And I knew some of the other moms, like, you know, from preschool, and like one of them,
Yeah,
a couple of them actually went to high school with us. So like I knew, you know, them as well. And so some different connections that, you know, you could talk to people and things, but
but
yeah,
what do you do? What do the kids do at this? They're 3 and 4. What are they doing?
it was like this play place that like had like a veterinarian shop and a doctor shop and a grocery store and a restaurant. Like it was like, and they
So okay, so if I would have
play.
gone to this birthday party, I could have gotten my horse tranquilizer before I went in at the
Yeah.
vet clinic, and
Yeah.
then put me
Yeah.
out of my
That's right.
misery. At least it
So
wasn't at a house. That's less awkward. If it's at a
true.
house,
True.
that's very awkward, especially if you don't know the people.
Yeah.
Like to me, like if I go
More
to
for
a house and I
families.
don't Yeah, and if I don't know where the bathroom is, like that's a problem. Like if
Yeah.
I'm having to ask little Jamie's mom, who I don't know where her bathroom is, A, she's gonna be thinking I'm gonna go take a dump, which is bad. You don't want that happening,
Nobody wants that,
especially for me.
especially
Number
a little
two,
bit.
like she might think like I'm going in there to like steal all their Tylenol or something, you know? Like who knows? Like
You
I could be stealing their toilet paper. Yeah, people do that at hotels. They steal toilet paper and towels. Like I could just be a criminal coming into their house. So at least it was at a public place where
Yeah,
people feel more safe, but still at the same time, like I don't know. I feel like at a kid's birthday party, they need to have activities for the adults too. Like they need to have like a poker
besides chocolate,
table set
yeah,
up,
or a
or
bar.
like a bar or bags.
Yeah.
The women or men need like a pedicure station
Oh,
set up. Things
okay.
like that, or maybe like a reality TV booth where you can watch like 20 minutes of reality TV. I don't know, just throwing out ideas. But like if we're going to this, I'm sorry I've been on a long rant here, but I'm very passionate about this. If we're going to these silly 3-year-old birthday parties, I need something. If I'm giving up my Saturday, I need something back too.
Starts with
So,
B and ends with ooze.
or scratch offs. But
Oh,
yes, or not, or nachos. Some good nachos can go a long way.
oh yes, a nacho bar. You know, Spencer, you brought up a good point when you're going into people's houses. So I have a question for you. One of my favorite games to play, and maybe this is a creeper game that, when I go to people's houses, but the first time you go to people's houses for the first time, one of the more fun things to do is, and when people come to my house for the first time, I just straight up ask people to look for this. You always ask, can you find the silverware drawer on the first try? You ever tried
Ooh,
that?
it is tough.
But
It is
it's got to
tough.
be convenient. It's got to
There
be
are
close to maybe the
clues.
dishwasher.
There are some clues. Usually it's going to be well, it depends on the age of the house. If it's a newer house, the drawer's going to be a little wider because you're going to have
Yep.
extra silverware.
Yep.
And it has to be conveniently located
Yep.
unless you're a psychopath. So I like my silverware drawer like halfway between the plates and the dishwasher because like I'm like putting it away, but also like I'm on my way. I got my plate, like I'm on my way.
Sure.
I can
Yep.
pick up a little fork on the way. So yeah, I think that's a fun game.
I made
Could throw
our
some people off the scent.
I made our buddy Brett Spencer, who we are friends with. He's in our one of our wiffle ball buddies and my friend since kindergarten. He brought his girlfriend over for the first time to see. Second time we've met her, but first time the two of them came over and we hung out at our home bar and played games and things throughout the evening. Even let the kids go to grandma's house, grandpa's house, so the kids were even gone also. But first thing I asked the poor girl when she walked into our house was, "Can you find my silverware drawer?" And gosh darn it, she found it first
She
try.
found it.
So good for you. She's a
Wow.
keeper, Brett. Congratulations. She's a keeper. There it
That
is.
is very impressive. That is
Speaking
very
of
impressive.
food, Spencer, are you ready for this game?
I'm ready. I don't know
This
what it
is
is, but let's
this
do
is
it.
Nacho Average Daddios history, Spencer. This is our first podcast game we're kind of playing with each other. And the
Hmm.
game is I've been traveling and I just traveled recently. And when you travel, Spencer, sometimes you don't eat very well. You just don't. There's a lot of fast food, or sometimes you just got to go to a quick restaurant that might be open at a certain time. Like I go to certain conferences for my job, and conferences sometimes can last a little later, and you have to kind of find some place that's open. And a lot of times when you're driving and you're traveling places, fast food is kind of the only option. So I actually did some research, before I left for this trip because I don't know if you can tell, Spencer, but I've been trying to bulk up a little bit
I
up
see
here.
that. I see
My
that. Yeah.
shoulder.
Ripped.
And
That's not your heavy dad.
no,
That's not your average
average.
dad bod.
That's right. And I actually have been, it was since about November. I've been lifting about every other day. So I've been, kind of on a kick,
You.
doing a lot more lifting. And one of the things I will not get bigger because I don't eat enough protein. That's just what it comes down to. I do not eat enough for me to get
Okay.
any bigger than this.
Okay.
But, it just helps with health and things like that. So I've been lifting. I feel good doing it. So I've been trying to eat more protein. So one of the things I looked up was what are the best protein meals you can find in fast food?
Hmm.
So I want you to think of, and I looked this up, and the top, they have like top 7 or 8 are all different items and places, or like items from places. But I want you to name the first 5 fast food restaurants that come up on this protein list. I want you to make a guess. If you can guess all 5, it doesn't have to be in order, but just what do you think?
Just the restaurant,
Just the restaurant. Yep.
and it has an item that comes up high on the protein
This is
list.
the top 5 for, some
Well,
lower calories, but it's mainly about the protein.
I would say Wendy's is on there.
Wendy's is on there. The Cobb
And for a
salad.
oh, okay. I was gonna say loaded baked potato for some reason.
It's the
I think I'm
Cobb
thinking of
salad. It's
carbohydrates.
got 36 grams of protein, grilled chicken. You know, it's got the
Okay.
eggs as well on there, the hard boiled eggs. So
Okay.
bacon.
Definitely going next. I mean, you gotta go McDonald's. It's on there.
It's not on there. McDonald's is not on the
Whoa.
protein list.
Hot
Let's say
giggity.
let's say you only get 3 strikes too. So if you don't get after 3 strikes, then
Okay.
I'll tell you what the answer is.
Let's go with Taco Bell.
No, Taco Bell is not a top 5. You're at 2 strikes, Spencer. Start thinking about items. You know, these are specific items.
See, I was thinking the
Protein,
reason I said McDonald's was because of parfait, and there's a lot of protein in
granola, and
their
yogurt,
yogurt.
Greek yogurt and
Mhm.
granola. I don't know if it's Greek
Yeah,
yogurt
so
though. In granola, I sometimes put that on my oatmeal in the morning for
probably
protein.
not.
Not too much.
Probably not. Okay. Let's go Burger King because they got the Whopper.
That is strike 3, Spencer. Wow, I thought you would be a lot better at this game. Let's
That's
go
kind of
through the
hard.
list here. Let's go through the list. The number 1 food item is the Panera teriyaki chicken and broccoli bowl. Panera.
Panera's fast food.
You
Okay.
get, it's got to drive
I
through.
didn't really
Got to
think of
drive
that.
through. Okay, well maybe we
Okay.
should have clarified the rules a little bit more. But I read that, and guess what I had for lunch today?
That.
That I had that. That's right. Number 2 on the list, number 2 place is the Chipotle chicken burrito bowl. Do you get
These
a
two places I did not consider fast food, but I agree. And that
you
Chipotle is fire.
do you get a tortilla on the side?
No, I just get a bowl,
You
baby.
just go bowl. That's healthier, so
Mm.
that's probably a better option. And then another, yeah, we already said Panera, so you already said that. You already got Wendy's. That was a very good guess. This next one's a little interesting, and you're probably going to say the same thing, but it's Starbucks. It's the smoked turkey protein box. Comes with apples, carrots, and a smoked turkey club. So there you go. Next time you're having a little lunch, head there. And then the last
All right.
one
Hold on.
doesn't
This
count.
list. This
Okay.
list is crap.
These are
This
registered
list is crap.
dietitians. These are from registered
Well,
dietitians.
these dietitians need to get re-registered, I think. So
Well, and then the last one was Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A? Chick-fil-A? Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A is so good.
Chick-fil-A.
Oh, mama.
Are you Chick-fil-A or Raising Cane's?
I'm both, baby.
I'm
both.
Cane's. I'm one level
I
away.
I like this is a hot take. Cane's sauce I
Secret
like
sauce.
better than Chick-fil-A sauce.
Tangy
But the
secret sauce.
chicken, I think the chicken at Chick-fil-A is better.
Interesting.
But
Interesting.
I like the fries. Both like I like both
Both fries are
fries.
good. I agree. The
Mhm.
Texas toast at Raising Cane's can't be beat. It's probably really
Do you
bad.
dip your Texas toast in the cane sauce?
Of course, Spencer. What am I,
So
an alien?
good.
Yes,
Woo-hoo.
and coleslaw too. I always get coleslaw and an Arnold Palmer, Arnold an Arnold Palmy.
I get extra fries. So
Good for you. Okay, well that's our
well,
food
cool. That was fun.
fast food guessing game. You did terrible the first time, so maybe we'll redeem yourself with a game later. Speaking of games, yeah, Spencer, have you did you watch the NBA All-Star game? You know, I
I
tried to get my
did.
kids into it, but were not interested because it
I
was not
don't think
fun.
I don't think any of America or the world was interested. It was pretty bad.
Oh
Adam
my
Silver, the
gosh.
commissioner of the league, was pretty disappointed as well when he was handing the trophy to I think it was the East that won because they broke the record for most points scored, but it's just not entertaining.
Bad.
The
Bad.
players don't try, which to be totally honest with you, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
But they just need to do something different. I've seen a lot of suggestions online on how you could fix it. I do think the dunk contest could be awesome. They just need to get the stars in it. If they get the star players in the dunk contest, like it'll be must see TV. It'll go viral. So I don't know. That's kind of how I feel
Yeah.
about the NBA All Star Game. It wasn't anything special.
Yeah, skills competition was a big bust. I usually love watching those different things and the passing, the point guards, and all that. But they did a first year players versus the Indiana Pacers versus All Stars, like these team events,
Mm-hmm.
and the not first year players, first picks. So like
Yeah,
Victor Wembanyama and the guy from the Timberwolves, and then Paolo Banchero, like
Carl Anthony Towns or Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards, the Ant-Man.
Yeah.
So like those three, like everybody was like, oh, these guys are gonna win. Like they're the three, number one picks, and like every single one they kept predicting them to win. And it was just embarrassing. Like Anthony Edwards
Yeah, it was pretty
ended up
bad.
shooting left-handed because his team was doing so bad. So he just made it worse and made his, and that's when I was like, okay, why am I watching this anymore? So they
Yeah.
need to figure that out. The NFL one was good though. I liked the NFL.
Yeah, yeah. I think most All-Star games are what they are. Like, I think the leagues want to make them super exciting, but
Sure.
they just are what they are. There's too much money involved with player contracts. Speaking of lots of money, wiffle ball players make tons of money. It's a top secret
Nice,
thing that
nice
no one knows
transition.
about. Um, and we've had some wiffle ball awards recently. I know a lot of people out there are not familiar with the wiffle ball scene, but the
Oh,
wiffle ball awards come out a couple times throughout the year, but the Whiffy Awards come out before the
yeah.
season kind of starts, kind of like putting a bow
Love
on
that show.
the
Yeah.
season before. So give us like a 20-second summary of some of the news that came out,
Well,
some of the things that we need to know.
and wiffle ball has, is beginning. Wiffle ball is starting. All the new seasons are coming. The Major League Wiffle is one of the mainstream ones. Their draft is coming up. The league we play in, MoWiff here in St. Louis, their draft is coming up. The SWBL is going to have some draftees this year. But the Whiffy Awards, as you mentioned, one of our buddies, your teammate and my teammate at Nationals, and then your teammate in one of your leagues. His name's Caleb Schweigert. He just recently won the Central Region Rookie of the Year and is nominated for National Wiffle Ball Rookie of the Year. And I think he's got a good shot to win. So it's going to be
He's
exciting to
pretty
see that.
good.
Yeah, when you can throw
He is.
mid 90s with a wiffle ball, then you're something special. So and he's a big softball guy too. So this is a fun little niche that we like to play in, and our kids have started. I don't know about Michael, but McGuire loves to throw at the backstop at different places. One of my favorite memories actually from wiffle ball last year was Michael coming to watch you and up at the fence
Defense.
just yelling daddy, like the moment that you two had together. I even was filming that specific series, and I had the camera zoomed in on Michael and you having a moment, so that was cool
Oh,
that Michael got to experience that with you.
yeah.
So it's a fun thing that we hope we pass on to our kids in the future, this silly love for this game that is meant for kids, but we play it too strongly as adults.
Yeah, and speaking of kids, I believe we have another game to play, Sam.
That's right.
We have, you want to explain it?
Yes. So let's first talk about it too, because I know Spencer, we've talked about this off air before. We talked about, like what the kids are watching these days. But before we get to talking about like what our kids are interested in, I thought we would play a game of keep three, cut three. So I'm going to give you 6 different kid TV shows. And as dads, let's be real, we're watching them. We're interested, right? I don't know if you've gotten interested in storylines before, but you're watching these
Sure,
shows and you're like,
sure.
all of a sudden, it's been like 30, 40 minutes and you've watched 2 episodes and you're like, what did I just do for 40 minutes? Like,
Yeah.
and you're enthralled in what's going on in these storylines of these different ones. So I'm going to give you 6 different TV shows that are kids TV shows about for the ages of, McGuire, Michael, Wyatt. And we're going to see if you can keep 3 and cut 3. And I want you to keep one first, then cut one, back and
Okay.
forth so the viewers
And
can
we're
get
keeping these based off our own personal interests,
your
not
personal
like
preference. Yeah.
what's
And
best for our kid.
yeah, your personal preference. What would you
Okay.
keep? What would you cut? And if you want to write them down so
Got it.
you have them all
No,
next,
no, 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 no,
you
no.
got it?
We don't need to write things down here.
All
Steel
right.
trap. We
We're
got it all
gonna,
here, baby.
here they come. Bluey. You knew that one was coming, right?
I'm keeping Bluey.
Well, you can't wait till you hear all 6 first. Are you
Okay,
ready?
sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Bluey,
Okay.
Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood. Have you seen that one?
I'm gonna keep it a secret.
Okay, here we go. This one might be out of Michael's range, but I am going to include it because it was one of McGuire's favorite too. Was Wild Kratts. Learn a lot about
Okay.
animals with Wild Kratts. A good one there. Curious George,
Mm-hmm.
Sesame Street. Okay?
Mm.
Sesame Street, which is always a popular one even when we were kids as well. Okay, and then the last one is Doc McStuffins. Have you ever seen that one as well?
I don't know. I'll keep it a secret.
All right, there's your keep 3, cut 3 for 60
Okay.
ones.
Well, I already buried the lead a little bit, but
Okay. Keeping Bluey.
definitely keeping Bluey.
Yeah.
Like Bluey to me, great storytelling. Australian accents really interest me. I did spend some
You
time
did.
living in
You did.
Australia, so plus like the theme song at the very beginning is very catchy. So everybody's dancing. Sometimes when it comes on, you're like dancing on your way to get another
Oh,
beer, and
absolutely.
you're just kind of like dancing waddling along. So I'm gonna keep Bluey.
Okay.
Um, you want me to cut one now?
Yeah, cut one.
I'm gonna cut Wild Kratts
Oh,
because I know nothing about it, but I'm interested.
Wild Kratts is good. It's one that I don't know if I would have kept it on this list because there's so many great shows on this list, but the Wild Kratts is a great one. My son loves it. You have the real people, the Kratt
Yeah,
brothers diving into animals and their superpowers, and then they use those superpowers in a cartoon and they defeat villains. So it's cool.
I love it. Okay, I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah.
Next one I'm keeping is Curious George. I
Yeah.
mean,
Classic.
what's not to love about monkeys,
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus, like, he's kind of doing stuff that I would love to do. Like,
Oh,
he's getting
that's
into
the best.
trouble.
Oh,
He's
mischievous little
he's
guy.
doing mischievous
That's so cute.
stuff. He's kind
Yeah.
of funny.
Hmm.
Plus, he kind of has like a father figure. He's got
Yellow hat.
his guy. He's got the yellow hat.
Mm,
So I'm keeping Curious George.
love it. Okay.
Next one I'm eliminating is the second show you gave me, which if you want to tell everybody what that was called.
Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood.
Yes, I'm glad you remembered that because I was testing you there.
Okay.
Um, Getting rid of that one, even though it sounds fun, I know nothing about it.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be on your list soon. It's going to be up there.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna have to text me these lists. And then the third one I am keeping is Sesame Street because it's goated.
Yes.
If I was on an island and I just had to pick one show, that's gonna be up there because I think there's like a couple hundred episodes of Sesame
Bajillion.
Street.
There's a
So you can't
bajillion.
go wrong.
No.
Constantly, coming
The
out of nowhere with
stars. They
some
got stars that are stuck
yeah,
with them. Yeah.
yeah, you got celebrities coming on there like Usher. Usher, when he was on there, he sang that song. Man, we still play that from time to time.
And it's
And then,
timeless.
yeah,
Those
it's
songs are
timeless.
timeless.
So, and then I'm gonna cut the other one
Doc
that
McStuffins. Yeah, that was probably
yeah,
would be my first cut. Doc McStuffins on the list. I included it. My daughter enjoys it. All the animals that come to life and help her with. She's really into playing doctor right now. It's like
hmm
checking your temperature, giving you the shots. So included that one.
yeah,
So cut three, kept three, good three to keep. I'm sure the viewership will also appreciate the three that you kept. But let's
yeah,
see if anybody comes back at you for Wild Kratts or Daniel Tiger's
yeah.
Neighborhood. You might get some flack on. Not gonna lie to you.
Let us know in the comments. Let
Yeah.
us know in the comments.
All right. And then but is there any shows on this list, Spencer? Like what's Michael watching? What's his show that he's watching right now?
Well, Michael's obsessed with ice hockey because I play ice hockey.
Okay.
And so anything, if we ever ask him, he doesn't watch a lot of TV. If we ever ask him, like, what do you want to watch? It's something playing hockey. It's like Miss Rachel playing hockey. That's what he wants to watch. Or Mickey Mouse playing hockey.
Oh yeah.
Or
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Bluey playing hockey.
Blue.
So, anyways, he watches a lot of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse,
Yeah.
which that would be on my list. I mean, the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse theme song is
Yeah.
pretty great.
It was too easy to include on the list. I thought I would exclude it on purpose because I feel like it would just be picked
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So Miss Rachel, we watch a lot of old Disney cartoons like the Donald Ducks and Goofy
Yeah.
and those characters. So,
Into
but
that one.
yeah, we love Mickey Mouse. We love
Love it.
Mickey Mouse, and then we'll watch some Sesame Street. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll watch some Sesame Street from time to time.
I actually called Gus's kids, called my niece and nephew, and spoke like Mickey Mouse the whole time. And the silence on the other side of the phone from Whitaker was laughable. He was like, what?
He's
Why
like,
did Mickey just call you? I had my students when I was a teacher, I taught kindergarten through fifth grade, and I had students up to fifth grade convinced that I was the backup voice to Mickey Mouse. It's so fun making up those little fibs when you're a teacher like that. And I still
yeah,
feel like even in high school when I announce their basketball games and football games now that they still believe I was the former voice of Mickey Mouse. Anyway, episode 2 of the Nacho Average Daddios podcast. We thank everybody for listening. And as always, we got to have some theme music or something. We got to end with a featured dad joke for some reason, Sesame Street, the word of the week, word of the week, word of the week, it comes to mind, the PBS Kids word of the week, but it would be featured dad joke of the week. Spencer, do you have a dad joke for everybody out there?
Of course, I got dad
Okay.
jokes.
Well,
The
let's hear
second my son came to this world, I had Elon Musk Neuralink me 1,000 dad jokes. I'm just
it.
always ready, always prepared. There's
Everyone
nothing a
thinks they're
dad
right.
joke
No.
can't fix.
Yeah. Let's hear it.
And
Give me
today I bring you a great dad joke.
one.
Why did the pony ask for a glass of water?
I'm so excited to hear that. Tell me.
Because it was a little horse.
I get it. Horse, HOARSE, but pony, horse without the A. Yeah. All right. Spencer, I only know 25 letters of the alphabet. I don't know why. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for episode 2 of the Nacho Average Daddios podcast. Spencer, thanks for joining us again. We will be back for all of you nacho eaters out there for all these average dad bods we got going on. Hopefully you'll join us for episode 3 of the Nacho Average Daddios podcast, where we'll talk more live sports, entertainment, anything that comes to Spencer's brain, because I'm just the point guard. He's the center. He slams it home. Right, Spencer?
That's right, baby.
All right. See you later, everybody.
Peace.